Greetings one and all, welcome again to another cooking episode here. Today I'm going to make pakoras, vegetable pakoras, which probably most of you know is a widely enjoyed snack all over India. So without further ado, I'm going to get on with it. So I've already chopped up some veggies and I'll show you what I'm going to use, but you can use any sort of veggies that you've sort of got lying around. But I've got using some red capsicum. I'm going to put all these into a bowl. Sort of fairly, thinly sort of cut, but roughly as well. So I don't have to be too precise. Anyway, that's some zucchini. Get that in, and some cauliflower, just small pieces of that. These are going to cook fairly quick, so you need fairly small pieces or thin pieces, just so it does cook. If you're using potato, you can use potato too, but I'd be sort of grating that or just cutting it into very small pieces, but I haven't got potato in mine. Some onions, some green chilies, put them in, and I've also just got a bit of grated ginger and grated garlic, and that's all the veggies I'm going to be using. So I'll just mix them up a bit. Now into that veggie mix, I've got about 3/4 cup of chickpea flour, and I've also got about 1/4 cup of corn flour. I'll just mix that up again. Now I'm not necessarily going to be using all of that. I'll just see how we go as we mix it up, because I don't want a too wet a paste. So yeah, I'll probably put about half of that in to start with, and then I have thoroughly washed my hands, and we're just going to get in and start mixing that flour in. And because there's a lot of moisture in those veggies, we'll see how we go. We're probably going to have to add some water, but we'll see how we go first. Just give them a good crunch around, and like I say, clean, as always, clean hands are your friends. Yeah, so to that as well, I have got here about, in this little PEX paste thing here I usually use, I've got a couple of teaspoons of garam masala, about 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and I've also put in some chili powder, the whole stuff, about a teaspoon of that, but put as much or a little chili as you want. Bear in mind, you've already got some green chilies in there, and so that's not really forming a bit of a paste yet, so I might add a little bit of water, just a little bit, just steady as she goes. So we want almost like a bit of a batter, a bit more than what. So at this point, I'm going to put the rest of that flour in. Alright, and a little bit more water. Let's just get this happening. So of course, using chickpea flour and corn flour. This is actually a gluten-free recipe, and if we actually cook these in vegetable oil, which I'm going to do today, it will also be, I think, vegan. Yeah, it will be vegan, as long as it's in vegetable oil. So that's roughly what we want. Just make sure it's all mixed in, the spices mixed through it, and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, look, just before I start cooking at those pakoras, I just thought I might make a little bit of a dipping sauce or chutney type thing here. So yeah, just in my little mini processor here, I've just put in a bunch of coriander, some mint, fresh mint, and just a clove of garlic that I've roughly chopped, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, teaspoon or so, and over here I've got the juice of 2 lemons. That's going to go in as well, and we'll just see how that goes. May or may not have to add some water, hopefully not, but we'll see how it goes. Just get it pulsing up. Tasted it. Very, very nice. Alright, that's our sauce done. Let's get on to cooking the pakoras. Alrighty guys, now I'm back up to, we've made that sauce, or dipping chutney, whatever you want to call it. So now we're up to actually cooking our pakoras. So I've got some oil up to temp here, vegetable oil like I said. Now while I was making that dipping sauce and getting the oil up to temp, a bit more liquid came out of those vegetables, so I did actually have to add a little bit more of that chickpea flour to the mix just to get it up to more like a batter. So now we're going to fry them up in batches, so I'm just going to do them in a spoonful at a time. We'll get a few in there at a time, so just like this. Just set them in there. The oil's sort of not piping hot because we do want to, just remember those veggies are raw, so we want to give it a bit of time to cook. And they don't have to be perfect balls, anything like that. In fact, they're better if they're a little bit flat, they cook better. A little bit flattened out. So I'll get a few going this first batch. And when they're done, I've just got some kitchen paper on a plate there to let them drain on. Yeah, I think I'm going to fit 1 or 2 more in there. 1. And just mixing that batter right through the veggies, make sure you've got a good ratio of veggies to batter. And can I go 1 more? Yeah, why not? Alrighty. Just let them cook for a couple of minutes. Don't want to burn them obviously, but they do need to cook for a couple of minutes. So you don't want, like I said, you don't want them all piping hot, so it just burns straight away. But obviously you want them crispy and nice too. So just got to get that fine line, but it's not too hard. All right, I'll get back to you when these are done. Alrighty guys, yeah, finished those pakoras now. They're all drained up, so yeah, I've got a few on a plate here. I'm going to have these for, as I say, they're generally like a snack, a beer snack, but I'm actually going to have these ones for lunch today. Turned out really, really good. Really happy with them. Yeah, let's try one. So I've got my coriander dipping sauce here, and just take a mouthful, see what it's like. Alright. That takes me right back to India. That is yum. I highly recommend making that chutney, coriander chutney with it. It's beautiful. Alright. That's it for today. As always, if you could help me out by subscribing, that'd really mean a lot to me. But you know, no dramas if you don't want to. And like it, share it, this video if you. And I'm going to keep making them anyway, so it's up to you. Alrighty, I'll see you next time.